Alright, I left out the Freeman 451 on purpose here from the last video. Please check that out. Talked about tanks of knives that are folders on the last video, but I left this out on purpose because I want to go into grips. Not gripes, but grips. Alright, so I have figured out over a long time and a lot of purchases that grip is important, especially when you're looking at hot spots and comfort when you're cutting. And so certain knives just fit really nice in the hand, and actually the 451 feels great, but this is an exaggeration right here of finger grooves, and I think that it shows a very important point that your hand can't really go anywhere that it wants to go on a knife like this. And then especially on a reverse grip, right here on my ring finger, it's my right hand, but my ring finger, that's digging in really bad, okay? Because you've got this just sticking out right into your hand. Really nice for retention, and I appreciate all styles of knives, but in terms of comfort, I have definitely learned that a knife like this is not going to be nearly as comfortable. Now, I'll just show one more exaggerated finger groove here, Spyderco Manix 2, and this has got all of the jimping and everything attached to it, so it really does stay in the hand very well. But again, you are forced to stay in one place in the knife. You can move up. I find that to be a little awkward in a lot of knives. I like having a finger choil for safety, but not necessarily for cutting. I very rarely, if ever, would cinch up on a knife like that much, that I really need that much leverage. Usually I'm just going to grab the knife in a normal way. But again, because of that finger groove, as soon as you turn it around, right on that ring finger right there, my hand doesn't really fit. And so this is just not as comfortable. By the way, you also just don't need all the jimping. That's the other thing. Some knives just have too much. So here's somewhat of a gradual finger groove. And this I have found on something like the Para 2 from Spyderco is a much more refined solution, where not only do you have comfort, but you can really move your hand and manipulate it in different places in the handle and different grips, and it feels just like it molds to your hand. S110V, it is as good as it looks. I don't know if I'm colorblind, but this blurple has always looked more purple than blue to me. I don't know. Okay, and then one more example of just a really nicely done handle right here with no finger grooves is the Kershaw Link. And so no matter how you grab that, it's so smooth. And I don't believe you get much of a trade-off for having finger grooves in general. I'm not going to be cutting that hardcore with a knife that I'm going to need to hold on to it for dear life. Most of the light EDC tasks that I'm doing with a knife, a grasp like this is going to be plenty. I'm not going to worry about it coming out of my hand. And then one last type of grip that is kind of cheating because it's in an OTF, but Microtech Ultratech is more, well, there are very few curves in the Microtech Ultratech. Little dagger profile there, right? Okay, so when you grab an Ultratech, it doesn't matter how you're holding it, it feels like a glove. I don't think you can get a more comfortable handle. It's my personal preference. Your mileage might vary, but I find that especially the Microtechs, they don't look it. It's weird. It took me a while to get used to it, but they actually do fit your hand exceptionally well. Alright guys, that's it for now. I'm going to take a break, get more content to you soon. I hope you take care.